You cautiously exit 314 and head around the corner. Past the elevator, another long hallway greets you. You tense up as you peer down it, expecting who knows what. However, you appear to be alone for now in this part of the hotel. Several of the wall lights are burning dimly, but steadily. You walk along the right side of the hall and wiggle doorknobs. The first two, 316 and 318, are frustratingly stuck in their frames. However, the third door on your right, 320, creaks open under your touch. You wince a bit at the noise. 320 is one of the doors that was crossed off on your map. You feel apprehensive about entering, fearing perhaps that it's not a room at all, but merely a pit into a dark abyss. You wish this were a less reasonable fear. You formulate a cunning plan. Backing away from the door, you lean yourself up against the wall and grab the doorknob. Raising your pipe, you throw the door open. It slams against the wall, surely alerting anything inside your presence. You tense up, weapon at the ready, listening and straining for any sign of a creature coming to get you. Your bravado deflates a bit after nearly a minute passes with no activity from the room. You dig around in your coat for something to use to test your theory about whether there's a floor. You pull out the broken heel, which has been vaguely annoying you since you picked it up. Kneeling down at the edge of the doorway, you toss it in, aiming for about the middle of the room. You hear it land. There seems to be a floor at least. While keeping the rest of your body around the doorframe, you put your free arm onto the inner wall, and you try to find a light switch. You can't quite reach the switch from around the doorframe. After about a minute of struggling to do so, you bravely step just in front of the threshold of the door and reach in. Your fingers find the switch and flip it. The overhead light comes on and illuminates the room. It looks normal enough, and you take a step inside. An ordinary enough hotel room. This is the first double you recall seeing. The most curious thing about the room is the windows. Someone seems to have boarded them up. You walk across the room, stepping over the broken heel in the middle of the floor, and approach the windows. As you do, you discover that not only are they boarded up, but they're chained as well. The chain is old and rusted, but it looks quite functional. There's a lock on the leftmost window. Close inspection reveals that this was no simple job. Each of the windows is boarded separately. It appears to be on some kind of hinge. Peering through the narrow cracks between the boards yields only a glint of gray, most likely the heavy fog you saw outside before. Maybe you can chalk it up to all the weird shit you've been through the last hour, but you are suddenly and totally convinced that beyond those boards and chains lies your way out. After all, why would anyone chain up a bunch of windows unless it was to screw with you? There's probably a fire escape beyond them. You think about using your pipe to try and bash the boards down, but think better of it, recalling your fight with the door and its aftermath. Pointless. There will have to be a key to the lock somewhere. You search the room hastily. The bed frames go all the way to the floor. There's nothing in them, for good or ill. However, in the cabinet between the beds, you find another one of those health drinks. Like the last one, the bottle is chilled beyond all reason. After you pocket the health drink, you stare into the mirror for a moment, catching the side of your face looking back at you. The whole crushing weight of where you are and what has been happening to you comes down at once. You feel dizzy and your head aches. Collapsing onto the side of the bed, you pull your crumpled smokes and light one,
leaving one last solitary lucky strike awaiting you for later. Monsters, locked doors, mysteriously intact hotels, chained secret doors. What the hell is going on? Have you gone nuts? Did you hit your head? When you got the call from James, you thought there'd never be this... This what? This hard? This insane? Your uncle has been missing for years. Maybe the phone call was only the first sign that you were cracking up. Despair takes you for a moment, but you fight it off with nicotine and resolve. There's even a chance that your Uncle James is here. You have to keep going. You turn your despair away and think through a tentative course of action. Then you reverse it. You pull out the wedding photo from your coat and look at it with fondness and consternation. It was the last really nice day you got to spend with your uncle. After that was the honeymoon Silent Hill, and then Mary got sick, and James got, well, no one could blame him for being unhappy about his new wife's illness. To the prettiest bridesmaid, you read, and then put the picture away. As you're gathering your thoughts, it occurred to you that cell phones get better reception near windows. You doubt it'll work, but might as well try. Pulling out your phone and standing up, you approach the windows. You dial 911 and hold the phone to your ear. Unfortunately, there's a busy signal. Even less fortunately, you are shocked and deafened when the busy signal turns into an extremely loud and sudden burst of static. You pull the devil phone away from your ears and say a quick prayer to Saint Dymphia, patron of anxiety, as you try and calm yourself down. Once your heart has stopped racing from nasty telephone incident number 3, you wander across the room to the tall dresser next to what you assume is the bathroom door. With some trepidation, you open up the drawers. All but the top drawer are empty. It contains a heap of dead, dried-out flowers and one dusty, but otherwise pristine, plastic rose. You grab the rose out of the drawer, and not even pausing to put it away, stride boldly through the bathroom door. You take a deep breath as you cross the threshold, bracing yourself for whatever might be inside and tightening your grip on your pipe. The bathroom, at least, appears empty. The light switch doesn't work, but enough warm light filters in from the hotel room to illuminate the area dimly. You notice that the bathroom mirror appears to be totally covered in a layer of blood, which is also thickly pooled in the sink. Your previous experience gives you some fear of where it may come from. You kneel down and pry at the edges of the cabinets, but they won't open. Either they were only decorated to begin with, or else the same effect which has barred most of the doors has happened to them. You get up and approach the tub cautiously. You hope at least that whatever is in there won't be moving around. Gritting your teeth, you sweep the shower curtain aside, revealing a bathtub. There's a pink bar of soap sitting on the edge of the tub. With a sigh, you grab the soap. If it's there, you might as well be able to use it for something. The Alice-like logic of this place is beginning to wear on your nerves. You take a long, hard stare in the mirror, feeling almost like you're expecting something to come out of it, but nothing does. The mirror is really caked with blood. Feeling like you could really use some aspirin and a lot of alcohol, you decide to clean it. Who knows what's under such nasty shit? You let the clotting blood out of the sink until it empties, and run good hot water into the basin. Then you begin to scrub.
Eventually, most of the blood comes off under your scrubbing arm and elbow grease, but not all of it. The number 303 seems to be written there in particularly stubborn blood. You wonder if perhaps that number is important in some way, and take a deep, long, angry drag on your cigarette.